Christopher Eccleston, who joins us now, is involved in the Stand Up to Bullying campaign. Have you ever been bullied? Did you become a bully as a result of that? What's been your background personally in all this?
Both. I was bullied at school from the age of 5 by a girl who was 7, and it happened every playtime. Playtime became terror time for me. She would trap me against the wall. She would make me do sums, maths as we now call it, and it really coloured my life. I didn't want to go to school. I certainly didn't want to go out at playtime. But this was in 1969 on a council estate in Manchester, and as I've grown up and I've thought about that girl, she was, how could I say, she seemed not as cared for physically, you know, as some of the other children. And my thought is, God knows what was going on at home, because there was definitely a sense that this girl was very, very troubled. And that's what I take from it, really.
And how did that make you then become?
Well, I was bullied there, and then when I moved up to the juniors, I was bullied again by a boy. And one of the big factors, I think, for all people who are bullied is shame. And I could never tell my parents that I was being bullied, because I grew up in quite a macho culture. You're supposed to stand up to yourself. If I'd have told my dad, he would have flattened the school, and I didn't want that. I eventually told my mum about the second bully, the boy, but when she came to school, I was so terrified that I identified the wrong boy. So that was a very bad thing. And then there was a period when I bullied for a very short period, and I did stop it myself, thank God, but it's a shame that I carry to this day. And I can't, the pop psychology of it is, I bullied because I was bullied. I don't know that I accept that. I know that I feel a great deal of shame.
How did your bullying, which, you know, you still think about clearly, how did that manifest itself? What did you do to... It was a very sensitive boy in my class, and I used to, at break time, I used to make him give me some of his crisps. And I did it a few times, and I'm very, very ashamed of it. Extraordinary. I mean, you're getting emotional as you remember this.
Well, yeah, it's been a great shame, and I would like to apologise to him.
Do you know who that guy is now?
I know his name, yeah. I don't know where he is.
But you really feel that you would like to apologise?
Of course. Of course.
Do you think that he was subjected to bullying by other people as well?
Probably. He was probably like myself when I went into the infants, vulnerable and sensitive. And I mean, you can make the leap of, oh, I felt powerless, so I made somebody else feel powerless. I have to say, you know, saying this on television is very difficult, but I did self-regulate, if you like. I did stop myself. And I can remember doing it now, knowing, actually feeling dislike for myself as I did it. So it's a very complex thing.
What is your advice to people who are either being bullied, because you've been that person, or who are part of a bullying culture themselves? What should they be thinking? What should they be doing to try and overcome these two things?
Those who are being bullied, do you mean?
Yeah.
Those who are
First, those who are being bullied, and then those who are doing the bullying.
Well, those who are being bullying, you know, I think, certainly the culture I grew up in, you were encouraged not to tell tales, you know?
It's called snitching now,
snitching.
And there's a real, you know, in some schools, the idea that you would tell on somebody treating you like that is very frowned upon amongst other kids.
What I would say to the person who's being bullied, don't think of yourself, think of others, because if you point it out to the teachers, etc., you are actually preventing this person bullying somebody else. So if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for others.
And if you're doing the bullying?
Stop.
How did you stop? The self-regulation that you talked about, how did you find the strength to do that?
I just knew it was wrong from the beginning. And I think I must have come, and I can't say that I remember it. It was a boy that I liked very much. I went with the feeling that I had the first time I did it, that it was wrong, and I stopped.
Actually, a lot of people